How's it going, everybody? It's Mystical here. Haven't done a commentary in a while. I had to actually go back and check my channel when I actually did one last. Usually, I do one every like 3 or 6 months or something, but this time the last one was in December 27th, 2018, so this is technically the first commentary I've done for the channel in 2019, and we're practically near the end already. We're in the fourth quarter of 2019, but been in the mood to do one, and I think I said in my last post update on the channel that I would do one. And speaking of which, before I get too far in this and lose everybody, because you know, viewership will drop off and those that don't care as much, but if you want to know what's coming on the channel in terms of schedules and what's just happening in general, if you head over to the community tab on my channel, you'll see I've been posting weekly updates and information. Mostly, I started a schedule a couple months ago, but I also do talk about other things. Sometimes I do polls and other things like that, and I've got some stuff planned, which you'll see in that community tab, and I'm going to talk about in this probably very long commentary. I'm really going to try and not make it like freaking hour, but we'll see, because it has been a while since I've done a commentary, and there's a lot to talk about. So, that said, keep up to date in the community tab if you want to know what's going on, and you can see a weekly schedule each week of which games are coming. I constantly see people posting in some of the videos I do, like, oh, you aren't doing Halo anymore, when are you going to have Halo? But I've been uploading Halo every single week. The only thing that's changed is that I have a much wider variety of other games being posted, and I think that's why I guess it makes it feel like there's less Halo, but I've actually been uploading more Halo than I ever have, and it's always been on a weekly basis, so I'll get into all that later. And also the other thing, I think it's been so long since I've done a commentary, nobody will notice, but I am using a different mic for this one. I have my microphone that I usually use, that I put up on a stand and all that stuff, and it's good quality, but I decided to try using the microphone that I actually use on my Xbox. I am wearing my Astro A50 headset. Figured I'd just use the headset on here, or use the mic on this, because it's decent enough, just more hassle-free. But yeah, so getting into the commentary, it's been kind of a wild and stressful 2017, 18, and even 19. There's just been a lot going on, which I really don't want to talk about, just personal things, but finally things have cooled off, if you can say, and that's kind of put me in the mood to do a commentary again and be more focused on the channel and stuff. And I'm in a new place. I've only been here for about 2 weeks, renting my own apartment. Before here I was renting a condo, surprisingly literally across the street, and it wasn't a bad place or anything, but my friend who owns it, he was selling it, so unfortunately I had to find a new place. You know, that added stress of where am I going to live, but got real lucky, applied to a place across the street, and you know, I no longer have a roommate or anything, it's just myself now, so that's kind of nice, even though everything was really chill before. But yeah, that's good, and really felt like doing a commentary, you know, since then. It's just nice to have my own place and do whatever, totally, you know, and it's a small little studio apartment. But the best part is I have my desk and everything, and right next to it is the kitchen, which is really nice, and because I have wireless headset, I can just walk wherever. But anyways, without dragging it along too far, things for me are doing much better, and really wanted to do a commentary because there's been a lot of exciting game stuff to talk about, and things I wanted to do with the channel now that I'm more in the mood, instead of just going on a regular rhythm. So we'll jump right into it, just to get it out of the way, because everybody always asks, but the Halo is still coming. We've been waiting all year, since I think April now, since they announced Halo Reach is coming to MCC. So it's still been the waiting game for my channel. I've been uploading some MCC, or not MCC, Halo Reach from the 360 every now and then. But it's getting harder and harder to play that game, even though there's still a dedicated fan base. It's just really hard to go back playing online 360 titles that are in 30 FPS and using peer-to-peer. Oh man, playing Reach, some of the matches just feel so slow and sluggish. I've not participated in the flighting for Reach, but obviously looking at the videos, it looks so smooth and plays so much better. So I already do decent enough in Reach from the 360, but being able to play it on the Xbox One with in MCC is going to be amazing. And it sounds like the flights have still been going on, and they probably have a while left. Who knows how much longer? I'm really hoping by like the end of November or no later than December, because then all that during my Christmas break from work and everything, you know, I can play some Reach and get a lot of it in the channel. Speaking of which, for those that have been looking at the schedule banner, I'll probably make a separate post on this too, but I'll be I've updated already my Halo Master Chief Collection little schedule banner that you see show up on the schedule. I've now fragmented it so it's Master Chief Collection and then Halo 1, Halo 2 Classic, Anniversary 2, Halo 3, ODST 4, Halo Reach, and that way I can specify more per the schedule, like which specific Halo games will be showing up that day. And if it's a mixed bag like it usually is, it'll just be the standard Halo Master Chief Collection. But I look forward to showing you guys the new art that I put together for those. I like to refresh things out. And some of the other games with schedule banners, I'll be refreshing some of the images and art for those just to keep it different looking, you know. It's kind of like, you know how Netflix, if you have a show on your save list for a while, sometimes the image changes. That's the way I kind of see it with this, but there's still a lot of MCC gameplay to go. And for those that have noticed, I haven't gotten to gameplay since the April update of this year, where they start on the loading screens, they show the players and the map name with the game type and starting weapon and all that. I'm getting very close, and so you're actually going to see a massive flush of a surplus of Halo games, which I'm sure nobody will complain about being posted on the channel. I've got like only 2 more matches of CE before that update shows up, but then I have a ton of Halo 2, Halo 3, and a little bit of Halo 4, so there's going to be a lot of that showing up. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was some of the games that have been showing up on the channel. One of the big ones is Fortnite. I think the last time I talked about Battle Royale games, or Fortnite in general, I was really against it, and I didn't want to play it, and just had no interest. But my friend Ace the Chapin, you've probably seen his gamer tag in a lot of my games that we play, he convinced me to give it a try right before Season 10 started, and because it had a Team Rumble mode in it, which you know is basically like Team Deathmatch, and I actually ended up enjoying it a lot, to my surprise, and in the process I started playing the solo Battle Royale mode, and here we are. I've got a lot of Fortnite showing up basically, and I've played so much that I'm still in the process of uploading Season 10 gameplay, and we're in Season 1, Chapter 2 technically, or whatever, but I've been having fun. I don't know, it's refreshing, and I think having the custom skins really makes a big difference, because I like having a character just like with flair or something. I don't really like being a default's not technically, or just being a set, like, because Apex Legends, you know, has set characters, you know, kind of classes or whatever, but Fortnite you can just be whatever the heck you want. It's just more silly and funny, and with like going back to like I'd been saying, things were kind of stressful and stuff, and playing that game was a nice change of pace, and I don't really take it too serious, you know. I'm okay at the gunplay, but I can't build worth crap. Like, that's still a long ways away, but it's something new and exciting, and I'm not very good at it, and I think that's what kind of makes it refreshing, is it's something new, and you know, I'm in that process of being the noob and improving, and I don't really mind that, because you know, playing games like Call of Duty and Halo, I've gotten so good at them, and not to say that that's boring, You know, you just kind of go through a rhythm, and it's nothing too new for me. You know. With that said, Halo, you know, still the game where take it personal when I get like a negative KD or get upset. You know, other games I don't care, but Halo, it's like, can't get a negative KD. You gotta always do good all the time. Which, you know, can't always happen, but for anyone worried that I'm getting bored of Halo, that's not the case. It's just there's other games I enjoy playing, but every other Friday night I still play MCC with friends. But yeah, I'd say Fortnite is the biggest addition. Um, and I just wrapped up 2 to 3 days ago the Black Ops 4 last operation. There's still going to be a ton of Black Ops 4 gameplay in the foreseeable future just because I have so much. Similar to Black Ops 3, I actually stopped playing Black Ops 3 this January, but I have so much gameplay, it's still backlogged, like, you wouldn't believe it, so, there's that, but I'm done with Black Ops 4, but unlike Black Ops 3, I did not enjoy the Black Ops 4 ride. It just got worse and worse. I think you guys have all seen and heard what they've done with the microtransactions and loot boxes, and the streams when they started used to have weapons in them and they took them out and put weapon bribes in. It was awful, absolutely awful. And I mean, the gameplay that I upload, you'll see I do pretty good. 2.0 KDs, 3s or 4s or whatever. And I've actually had more games in Black Ops 4 than any Call of Duty, where I've had games where I had like 0 deaths, you know, which is really hard to do in a Call of Duty, especially Black Ops 4. But even then, I just hated the gameplay so much. And I waited 3 months, for those that remember, to get the game for $30. And even then, it's like every time I'd get on, it would make me so frustrated. Like getting killed by some dog running by, or the electric Roomba, and then you get zapped to death, or the battery's grenade launcher, and freaking just trash everywhere. Just absolute frustrating gameplay. So I'm so glad that I'm basically finished with the game, and technically Treyarch is too, unfortunately. But it's just disappointing game in general. But I played through it for the $30 worth. There'll still be lots of gameplay for the foreseeable future, but it's nice to take a break on that. And then a game that's made a big comeback on the channel, and that I've been enjoying playing a lot, is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Things were kind of starting to wane in that game near the end of last year. It looked like the content wasn't coming out, and we weren't going to get anything else from it. And then DICE just started releasing all sorts of crazy things, you know, and just recently we got the co-op and the instant action offline, which I've been waiting for that forever. I didn't think it would ever come. And it's amazing. And they just released another update, but it has enemy AI heroes that are actually pretty decent. All the AI can do the reinforcement abilities, and like the AI are actually pretty smart. You can traverse the whole maps in the prequel trilogy in like a capital supremacy-like mode. And I'm really hoping they add the other eras, but this Star Wars Battlefront 2 is really a Star Wars Battlefront game, and I've been enjoying it, and that's why it's been showing up more on the channel. But they've announced they've got more stuff coming, and then we got that new Star Wars movie in December, which they said more is coming out for that. So it gives me hope the other eras will get some treatment, because the prequel trilogy's been given so much so lately. But that's a game I've really been enjoying lately, and it's really done a 180 compared to other titles, you know, have fallen to the wayside or whatever. But that's been really exciting to see. Speaking of new games, can't forget the game coming out later this week, Modern Warfare. Was really on the fence about getting it or not, because as you all know, they did the Black Ops 4, and then there was the rumors and the talk basically about all the microtransactions and loot box in Black Ops 4 was a test for Modern Warfare system, and then we heard about like the survival mode being PlayStation exclusives. Like, oh man, this is looking pretty bad. And I enjoyed the beta. You know, there were campers and stuff, but that's nothing new in Call of Duty compared to like freaking electric Roombas pausing your gameplay, or concussion grenades, and you can't do crap all. You know, I'm fine with freaking campers in Call of Duty, but So I'm looking forward to Modern Warfare. I'm not saying it won't be a completely frustration-free game, but that's one of those games where even if the online sucks, I'm just looking forward because they've already confirmed it. It's going to have the offline bot mode, and for you guys that know, I love those bots. So regardless if the multiplayer turns out to be absolute crap, which I don't think it will, but if it does, similar to like Modern Warfare Remastered and the other older Call of Duties, I will definitely be getting my money's worth out of it. So I'm looking forward to that game, and hopefully my copy arrives on Friday so I can start playing some matches, and Saturdays when I plan to start uploading them. But it's looking really good. The customization on the weapons looks really awesome. I'm really hoping whatever they're playing with this battle pass or whatever that they're doing, that the weapons they have, that you can actually use them online and offline, and they won't be like the worst grind in the world to try and get them. But we'll see. Staying optimistic because they did say that there won't be any loot boxes or anything like that. Not that I'm gonna completely believe them, but just the fact that the base game itself, after playing it, looks decent enough, and it has a campaign that I can also play, and it has the Spec Ops mode, not counting the survival part. That's a pretty good deal. And that's why I waited on Black Ops 4, because it didn't have anything with campaign, and I only played the Battle Royale a little bit in that mode, but it's just not really my thing. I buy Call of Duty for multiplayer, PvP, fast-paced, and the multiplayer in Black Ops 4 was just not my thing from looking at gameplay, and that's why I waited. But Modern Warfare, on the other hand, that looks like it's going back to something that I really enjoy. So that's going to be cool, but there isn't really much else to say about that game other than it's looking promising, and we'll see what happens this Friday and where that game cycle goes. But speaking of older Call of Duties and stuff, things like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 and stuff like that, even though they're backwards compatible, I still upload bot matches on those because you just can't play them online anymore because there's hackers that ruin your profile and all that crap. So that is the one positive of having bots in the games, is I can at least bring some of that gameplay to the channel every now and then, because some people care, but other people, they don't give a crap. They enjoy watching whatever I upload, and they don't care whether I'm playing against a real player or not. They just want to see crazy action, as I like to play with just crazy action, and that's what's great about it. But yeah, so speaking of games and stuff like that and older stuff, you've probably noticed I've been uploading Horizon Zero Dawn to the channel. Single player games, I've been really trying to get more of those into the channel. I've done things like the NASCAR racing game, Wreckfest, World War Z. I have a ton of other single player games that I've played in the past that I love to upload on the channel. I mean, there's so many. The problem is there's just so many. So it's like once I get through Horizon Zero Dawn, another one's gonna take its place. But some good classic games like like the Dead Space series. I love that series, especially the first one. I really want to bring back Alien Isolation on the channel, which I did originally, and then I removed it because I made this channel multiplayer, and then I reverted that. But I'll bring things like that back. Final Fantasy 13 is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. I have Final Fantasy 10 as well, might do those, but those are really long games, so that would be a huge stretch and stuff. The Mass Effect series, there's just so many really great single player games that I played that I'd love to bring back on the channel. Oh, Shadow of the Colossus on PS4. I still need to buy that version of it, but I've played through it on the PS2 and the PS3, but things like that. But I'm really going to try and make an effort to get more single player games on the channel more soon as possible. And that's just coming into my next part of the topic, is trying to plan out the schedule. There's just so many games, and I found the games that I have the most gameplay on, which is currently Black Ops 3 in first place, Black Ops 4 in second place, Master Chief Collection in third, and then I think it's Fortnite now. Is that they're taking up, even with me condensing and putting like 12 matches, or Black Ops 3's case 24, it's still not enough. And so I've got this new plan, which I'm going to start rolling out in November, is I'm going to do like a daily bonus, I guess, if you want to call it, of those games. So instead of like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, for sure those top two, those will no longer have a specific date that they'll appear on the channel. They'll be a global game, and I'll explain this more in the community tab when I upload posts on it. But I have this idea where I'll have global games, and these are games that just have a lot of gameplay. And instead of them showing up on the channel on a specific day, there will be a couple matches for that game every day, and in the end it will actually be more gameplay than if I just did one match. So for example, Black Ops 4, I do once a week 12 matches, where if it's a global game, I'll do it where it's 2 matches every day, so that's 7 days, in a week, so that's actually 14 matches. So, it adds up to a little bit more, but it's not an over-exhaustion. So I'll do something like 4 matches of Black Ops 3, 2 matches of Black Ops 2, and like 2 matches of Master Chief Collection or something each day, on top of whatever that day's gameplay is. And the global games will be spread out between like 2 to 3 hours, so there'll be a huge break in between those, but that'll spread that stuff out and allow me to keep trying to wheel out all that gameplay, because I just have so much. I think I've showed you guys in one of my last videos about how I make the game stuff. If you go back in my community tab and you haven't seen it, you can watch the video, but you'll see I think I show in there at one point how much Black Ops 3 gameplay I have in the backlog, but I played it a lot because I was just so good at it. And that's kind of one of the problems, is you get so much gameplay, even at the amount that I upload, it just completely starts to get backlogged. So my plan of trying to get it out, but those are the games that are on a hot streak right now. And eventually, one day, I'll finally start running out of gameplay, and then I can back it down, and probably something else will take its place. But that's the one thing I'm planning to do with the schedule. Another thing, I was thinking the third week of every month, like on a Wednesday or something, I'll have a mixed bag day, and that will just literally be like a random question mark on the schedule. And that will be either I'll have a poll of some older games and let the community vote for which game they'd like to see to show up that day, or it'll be like 5 or 6 matches of different games, much older games most likely, or just games I don't upload very often. So it could be like a match of like Modern Warfare 3, and then the next match, or the next game, could be like Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath from the 360 or something, and then the next one, I don't know, could be like Destiny 2 or something, which I've never played Destiny 2, but apparently it's free. It could be a thing where I try, or a match of Apex Legends, so it's not going to be like a regular game, but it'll just be something I try out. I play a one-off match, or I go back and revisit an old game or something, or I feel like playing like a scenario in Roller Coaster Tycoon. It'll be random, surprise, mixed bag, something like that. It allows me to just try different things, and then I might find out, oh, I really want to play this game more, start adding it back to the schedule or something, So that's just another way to introduce more games to the channel, but also just let me try out stuff. Yeah, that was a lot that I went over there, but I think I covered most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Basically the schedule, the new games, trying to bring back old games, getting single player back in the mix, all that type of stuff. So those are the things that I'm planning to do, and I would say keep an eye out on the community tab, especially in November, because that's when I'll probably be starting to do a lot of these new things. So that's basically that. We're basically near the end of this year already, and I think the channel's been doing good, for how small my channel has always been. I enjoy the small community and stuff. The goal is never to make it big, it's just to have fun with it, because as I've always said in the past, I don't do this for money or advertisements. I think at one point I was thinking about trying to turn monetization on, but never got around to it because just it wasn't worth it. But you know, YouTube's kind of been in that weird place, you know, if you guys have been keeping up about all the weird censorship and crap, but it doesn't really bother my channel much because I don't really do anything that would warrant getting it removed or whatever, and I don't monetize it, so I'm not affected by any profits. But I mean, if the channel went away, that would suck, all that work of uploading and stuff like that. But I think I've mentioned it before, I have several terabytes of external hard drives where I keep all the raw footage, so it would be impossible to upload it all probably within a timely manner at this point, of course, because there's just so much. But I'm not worried about losing my gameplay because I can always go back and watch the raw footage. But for you guys on there, that would suck if the channel went away. But yeah, we'll see where channel goes here in the future and stuff. Just what's in store. But I'm excited to try some of the new things and go back and play some of my old games and get them on the channel again too. I've been really trying to do things different and not have too much of the same game every week, but there's just so many games and it gets harder and harder as each new game comes out, or I go back and play an older game, you know. And one of the staples on my channel has always been not abandoning the old stuff. That's why you see me still uploading older games, you know, things like Call of Duty Ghost or older 360 titles and stuff like that. But that's just one of the things I like to do. For those that haven't heard it, or maybe forgot, I like my equate my channel to a TV channel where there's tons of different programs throughout the day. You know, one could be a sports event, and the next thing could be a cooking show, and then some infomercial, and then, you know, some TV show or whatever. And that's kind of like what I like to see mine as, is you've got your regular shows like Halo and Call of Duty and big stuff, and new shows, aka new games, and then I've got the old reruns, which are like the old 360 titles and PS2s or whatever, you know, things like that. But that's what I like, is just the variety of old and new, and it's not necessarily always favoring just new games constantly like other channels or people only want to do because I want to keep up the view counts or whatever. But anyways, I've been rambling on far too long. I think this commentary is almost at the 30 mark minute. Not my longest commentary. I actually thought it was going to take me a little longer, but I managed to get it all in within 30-ish or 40 minutes or who knows how long. Gave me a chance with all this extra gameplay I have to put in a commentary. There's always those times where I have little short clips here and there of from games. I'm like, oh, that's good for the commentary, but that piles up too because I don't do commentaries much. But I think that's all I have to say for now. If I have anything else, I'll make another commentary. But you know, for those that have been around for a while, you know me. I do a commentary and then I may disappear for a while, so I don't want to make any promises, but we'll see. I hope everybody enjoys the channel in the upcoming weeks. I look forward to getting some Modern Warfare on the channel as well this upcoming week. All goes well and the servers aren't like terrible or my copy doesn't arrive in time, but we'll be okay. So until next time, I'll see everybody later, and take care.